Green flag. NASCAR is back to back at Darlington.
In line, still in line. Outside. Outside. There you go. All clear. Clear. Take it. Outside now. Outside. There you go. You're all clear, buddy. There you go. All clear by 2.
Ty Dillon to the lead. Joey Logano at the inside.
Yeah, and exactly what I was talking about to watch for. Joey Logano gave a nice bump draft to Ty Dillon to help push him by Ryan Preece into turn 1. That outside lane, Mike, prevails once you get into the corner if you're side by side. But you can shortcut across that apron going into turn 1 if you get a bit of a push like Ty Dillon did. Now he's got control of this race. He's got the clean air. We've seen how important track position has been here at Darlington.
On a green racetrack, first time Ty Dillon has led at Darlington.
We're anxious to see what Mark Truex Jr. does here tonight as Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott go by on the outside. Now here comes Cole Custer. Also, remember Truex started really far off with his balance last Sunday. Right now, I wouldn't say it's a whole lot better, but that car should get good, be a lot better on the long runs.
Turn 4, crash.
John Hunter Nemechek.
No. He slides down to the apron without further contact, but the rookie who had such a tremendous race here on Sunday has heavy damage tonight.
Well, he sure does. You could see that left rear took a lot of damage. Cut the left rear tire down. He's going to try to get to pit road as fast as he can.
He was running 11th.
He's in that first pit stall as you come onto pit road. Well, we talked about how fast the pace was going to be, and you could see a difference in the grip level as they dropped the green for this race versus on Sunday. On Sunday, they were timid. You could tell the drivers, they didn't have that grip, didn't have the security, weren't exactly sure and the confidence in what those tires were going to do and the grip of the cars. And tonight, not the case. Boy, they were on the gas hard and carrying a lot of speed through the corners.
All right, here's a look at it. Look up ahead of Cole Custer there.
Boy, might have had a little bit of help there.
Inside,
Not
middle,
sure.
stay middle. There you go, clear. All good there. Didn't lock them up.
Looked like Matt Kenseth was right behind John Hunter Nemechek. Can't tell if he had any help there. Certainly back end came around. That area getting into turn 3, it's a little bit flatter. You get on the brakes, and then you really have to put a lot of wheel into it to keep that car down on the bottom. Yeah, really hard to say what happened there. Matt Kenseth was there.
He was down to the inside by the time we got to this replay. We're back under green. Bubba Wallace with the lead.
Pretty risky move there by that 43 team and Bubba Wallace, but he's got the clean air for now. How long can he hold on to it? Ooh, Blaney, aggressive move into turn 3. And Boyer goes to the lead. Boyer's car is just so strong around the bottom lane through 3 and 4. He's able to make a lot of passes down there.
Logano moving up on Alex Bowman, and Chase Elliott gives a little bit of help to Austin Dillon.
Oh, now he's going to go to the outside. Austin Dillon 3 wide off of turn 4.
You can't do that here.
That doesn't work at Darlington. Whew, that was close.
Denny Hamlin in the picture, and that blue and yellow Ford of Brad Keselowski.
But again, Mike, this is a shorter race. You got to be aggressive track position. When you got the opportunity, you got to seize it, and that's exactly what Chase Elliott was trying to do there.
Newman wanted to climb up into that space between Hamlin and Keselowski, but it closed right up.
And now Keselowski, oh, Newman slides up the racetrack.
That is shoving the hot dog into the bun right there.
And look at DiBenedetto making a great move to the
I'm
inside.
sorry, it was right there. I couldn't resist.
So, off of turn 4, I saw Newman, he got a huge push. The front tires just lose grip on that exit of that corner, especially when somebody's to the outside of you. You saw Newman just push the issue right there, and boy, almost slid up into Brad Keselowski.
35 complete already. Folks, we told you we weren't going to keep you up late. 228 laps is the distance. Stage 1 ends at lap 60. Clint Bowyer out front by 0.8 of a second on Ryan Blaney, and he is building a lead as Matt DiBenedetto goes after the 11. Can't quite make the move there on Denny Hamlin.
So far, that move, I really like that move by the 21 team and DiBenedetto. They came in, got tires, drove up through the field a good bit, and then came back down pit road, got tires, and now they're in the 12th place.
Look how hard they're racing for 19th back here. Christopher Bell, William Byron, Tyler Reddick.
And we haven't seen exactly what Tyler Reddick's car can do just yet in this race. We saw how fast he was on Sunday during the day when the track was slick. Making a move on Christopher Bell here. And the 24 of William Byron hit him. That car was extremely fast on Sunday before he had all kinds of issues, a loose tire, and then he cut down a tire.
Hey, and here's Matt Kenseth in the top 10, right where we left off on Sunday.
Are you surprised by that, Mike? I'm not surprised. Matt Kenseth, this guy knows how to get that car in the top 10, and you put him in position and he'll get more than that.
Alex Bowman having a hard look at the back bumper of Joey Logano. Twice he's tried to the inside, didn't have enough grip down there to make the pass. Now he's back in the high groove.
Mike, he's just driving with confidence right now. Yes, he's got a fast race car, but you can tell he's pushing the edge and the limits of that race car because he feels so good about it.
Chase Elliott for 9th on Bubba Wallace. Denny Hamlin looking on.
I mean, we knew Bubba Wallace was going to lose some positions, but I think he's done a very nice job since that restart, holding on to as much track position as he can, as Denny Hamlin now going to the inside. If this run goes for a long time, though, this could be trouble for Bubba Wallace in that 43.
Yeah, Larry, what does it mean at Darlington to have tires that are 14 laps older than the rest of the field?
Yeah, that's normally not a good thing. Yeah, he realistically had 11 green flag laps, and he actually pushed those tires those 11 laps. So I'm like Jeff, I'm a little surprised he's even holding his own like he's doing right now. And we still have 21 laps to go, though, in this stage.
Boy, did you see that right there? Clint Bowyer's car is turning good as we see this battle with the 24 car of William Byron and Cole Custer. That's for 18th position, but we saw Bowyer turn into turn 3 to the bottom like he has been, and this back end almost came around. Here's that pass that we see Bowman now making on Logano for 3rd place.
Jeff, a few laps ago, Kevin Hamlin, Bowman's spotter, took a look at that quarter panel and said that he had gotten in the wall a little bit, much like he did on Sunday. He's just dropped down to the 4th position on that first stop. They took a look at the tires because he was reporting he had a vibration. I checked with the team. Everything looked good. So some concern over this first run here, but he's dodging some bullets.
That's that fine line that you play here, Mike, at Darlington, because you want to use up every inch of this racetrack. There's some speed up there against the wall, and you can save tires by running up there also. But the fenders and the aerodynamics of these cars are so important that you cannot touch that flare on that right rear.
And as you see the right rear tire on Bowman, the yellow letters are rubbed off it. Clint Bowyer has been here 15 times previously. He's led more laps tonight than he led in all those other 15 races combined. Ryan Blaney 3 seconds back of Clint Boyer. Stuart Haas out front, Penske in second. Joe Gibbs racing in third with Truex. And Bowman in fourth, 6 seconds off the lead.
And worse off than that, he was about 6/10 off of our leader, almost 7/10 off of our leader. So definitely an issue. You see Logano in our 5th position.
And Eric Almirola in 6th. Almirola had that tire getaway, but NASCAR under review found it was not the crew's fault. Tire got hit by another car.
I love that call by NASCAR.
Yes, good. Yes. Chase Elliott 9 seconds back, currently 7th. And our pole sitter, by virtue of his 20th place finish on Sunday, Ryan Preece, holding in the top 10 as he did much of the race Sunday.
Yeah, very nice job for this race team. I felt like he had a good race car on Sunday, and he's showing it again here tonight. Denny Hamlin, 9th place.
And he's the 2nd Toyota and a familiar face in the top 10 from Sunday, Matt Kenseth.
Just wait till he gets 4 or 5 races under his belt, Mike.
They lapped past Quinn Houff, making his 2nd Darlington start.
Now, you know, on the opposite side of this, somebody's been struggling in this race that I'm surprised of is the teammate to Matt Kenseth, and that's Kurt Busch, all the way back in 29th position. Battle here, 5 to go in this first stage for 2nd place. Truex easily making that happen. I mean, this car is just so good on the long runs. I like the way my pick, Mike. I like where I went with this. I was a little worried when they dropped the green flag and Truex was struggling, but I'm feeling good about it right now.
Truex restarted 8th. He is the biggest mover of this segment of the race since the competition caution at lap 25.
Just goes to show you how much grip this racetrack has and how good that 19 car is of Martin Truex Jr. We're almost 30 laps into this run. He still does not come completely out of the throttle in turns 1 and 2.
Wow. Sunday, he got into somebody or something, got a hole in the nose. They stopped to make repairs, put a lot of bear bond on it. We could see that they were fixing the nose and the fender. We did not catch the hole in the nose. Former crew chief Cole Pern did and let everybody know about it on social media. Hey, Chase Elliott currently in 7th at 160 miles an hour, quicker than Matt Kenseth and Martin Truex. Pit road is closed with 2 laps to go in stage 1. Who's going to get the playoff point as Martin Truex, or rather Clint Boyer, is 3.5 ahead of Martin Truex. He has just run away with this stage.
And I think he's gotten even lower down on the apron through 3 and 4 that last time by. Looking really good for Clint Boyer right now. Cash and Presley at home are very happy, if they're still up.
Yeah. And I think they might be.
You got to stay and watch Dad lead the race.
One more corner and then the green and white checkered flag to signify the end of stage 1, and Mr. Boyer will get a playoff point. First ahead of Martin Truex, Ryan Blaney for 3rd, Bowman for 4th. Green flag.
You got all the momentum here. Still inside. Time's pushing hard. Still inside. Still outside. Still there. Outside. Still there. Outside. Still there. Outside. Still bumper, all clear, man. 2 wide behind you. 2 wide behind, all clear. Looking lower, quarter back. Even door, quarter.
As they pass the stripe, it's 12 to go to the end of stage 2. Chase Elliott up for 2nd. Ford, Chevy, then the Toyota of Truex.
Yeah, you saw Chase Elliott give a nice push to the 14 of Clint Boyer to get him that lead, but he was also able to get position to the outside of Truex to get the 2nd position away from Truex. And you can see Truex's car, you know, might not have quite the speed on that initial start lap, but boy, it comes on strong immediately after that. Here's a battle. Denny Hamlin goes to the inside of Alex Bowman.
And we are halfway. So this race is official tonight. Now we're rolling to the inside of Logano. Di Benedetto looking on in the 21. This is for 9th. Second place heating up.
Well, look how good Truex's car just grips to the bottom of the racetrack. He can jump back in the throttle. Chase Elliott chose that outside lane a little further to get around, but he carries the momentum on the exit. Actually closes in on Clint Bowyer a little bit. Sparks flying into turn 3. Or, sorry, this is turn 1 and 2.
I'm back at 4th place. William Byron. And just behind him, the driver who started this race, having to go to the rear, Eric Jones has made his way up into the top 5, Matt.
Mike, that Michigander Jones certainly continues to impress. They made an unapproved adjustment on the grid, started at the back, very patient, had a great run here on Sunday. Remember, he won the Southern 500 last fall, one of the biggest wins of all of his racing career. He's coming back. They've got Seth Chapka on the box. Chris Gale not here because of the suspension for one race. But he felt like tonight really could still be his night. The biggest issue, and Jeff, you've dealt with this before, when you have someone new on the box, is trying to get that guy filling in to communicate with you like the regular guy does. They spent a lot of time talking about terminology and how much to talk.
Yeah, Matt, sometimes it's not about what you say, it's the tone in which you say it. And your crew chief that knows you well, a lot of times can sense how big or small of an adjustment you may need based on your tone. Or sometimes they might not make any adjustment at all, just say, he just needs to calm down and run some more laps.
And in Chris Gale's defense, his crew chief that suspended, like Matt talked about for one race, it was nothing that Chris did. They had 2 unsecure lug nuts in post-race after Sunday, but ultimately, the crew chief is responsible.
Hey, a couple of champions tussling for 12th place. Kyle Busch beginning to make some noise, and Jimmy Johnson and Brad Keselowski all in a row. And Johnson just made the pass on Kyle. Brad tries it, nothing there.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen, and we saw Brad Keselowski on Sunday. When he got out front, he was fast. He'd fade maybe on the long runs, but he's really been struggling with track position here throughout the day and fighting hard just to be, in that 14th position. Here's that battle we talked about, William Byron and Eric Jones. I got to say something about William Byron. They started towards the rear, and, they're pretty far back in points, too. They could not afford to come in here and have a bad race like they did on Sunday. So I was curious to see if that patience, what that was going to do for William Byron. He's done a nice job, as well as Eric Jones, working themselves into the top 5 tonight.
Well, how many times has Darrell told us over the years, first, you race the racetrack. Then if there's anything left, you can race other cars. But you got to beat the racetrack first here.
And no other track does that mean more than here at Darlington.
So 3 laps to the end of this stage, and Matt Di Benedetto, you saw, is in position for the final stage point, 10th.
Yeah, Matt's having a nice solid night here tonight, and it's interesting watching William Byron slide off of that off the turn 2 as Kevin Harvick gets close to his rear bumper, and that #1 pit stall we talked about being so important that Kevin Harvick has, but they had a little issue on the left front, got him behind. Now he's starting to make his way back into the top 5. Mike, what happened was he maybe got out 3rd or 4th, but he was on that inside lane and he lost spots on that restart.
Pit road is closed. 2 laps to go in stage 2. They lap past Garrett Smithley.
You can see right there, Truex really gains on the entry of the corner to Chase Elliott, and then Chase Elliott really holds his own Oh, they're going to go split this lap car. Leader going by. Oh, man. Listen, we saw what happened in the closing laps of a stage with Jimmy Johnson last week, so it's never over till that checkered flag waves.
No, Bowyer wants this stage win, lapping Timmy Hill. Chase Elliott giving chase here. And it looks like Bowyer is going to prevail and notch another stage win. Clint Bowyer beats Chase Elliott to the line by 0.4 of a second. This is the first time this season.
Close the U tight. Fortunately, close the U tight.
That's Newman's spotter.
Side, pulling ahead, clear.
3 wide, Harvick, or rather Harvick on the bottom.
Clear, off of you, half.
Buescher going backwards fast.
That's a bold move by Harvick.
But nice job by Ryan Newman getting that push from Clint Bowyer to take the lead, get that clean air. And Bowyer, he talked about getting by his teammate Kevin Harvick. He got by his teammate. Now he's got to get by Ryan Newman. And here comes Eric Jones 3 wide.
Southern 500 winner from last year. He is going to spoil Bowyer's party right here.
Wow.
Didn't see that coming.
I did not see that coming. And here comes Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick.
And Martin Truex.
3 wide. Man, I really thought that Bowyer was just going to be able to fly right by. And here comes Kyle Busch also to the outside of Bowyer. Nope,
Boy,
not going to get there.
Harvick had a big slide up the racetrack.
I thought Bowyer was going to go right by Newman.
Chase to second place.
Well, not quite yet. There's a lot of grip down there in turns 1 and 2. A little tire rub. I think the little contact. I don't know if it was with Chase Elliott, but Ryan Newman, the left rear tire rub. Down here at this end, Mike, that's where the new fresh tires really pay off. Those guys on older tires just can't hold that bottom lane as good as those with fresh tires.
Let's show you again the big move by Eric Jones in the number 20.
You can see
top to bottom.
Yeah, Bowyer did a nice job getting side by side with Newman, but the 20 of Eric Jones did an even better job by carrying that momentum, not having to check up, and using the side drive or the stall out of those two guys getting side by side. 3 wide goes right on by.
What a great move. Bowyer's coming back. He's under Newman, and this is for 4th now.
I mean, Newman's doing a fantastic job holding on here. We all know how hard he likes to fight, and he doesn't, the best of anybody out there at being able to put his car in a position to make it very difficult, even on fresher tires, to make that clean pass.
And Jeff, that tire rub must have been slight. I've not seen it these last 2 laps on Newman. And here come the Toyotas, Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin. While Newman fights to hold on to 4th, his teammate that shared the front row, Chris Buescher, dropped all the way back to 27th.
See, Clint Bowyer still not clear. Ryan Newman, this is where the frustration starts to kick in. You start to lose your patience when you've lost the lead by battling with that guy. And now he's still battling. You still haven't been able to clear him. I mean, Newman not doing anything wrong. He's racing as he should. But, man, is he making it difficult on Clint Bowyer.
I remember once asking Denny Hamlin, who's the hardest guy to? He said Ryan Newman. I didn't even get to complete the question.
Oh, finally Clint Bowyer is able to clear Ryan Newman.
Yeah. Now Kyle Busch making the try for 5th place.
And Kyle was able to get Ryan a little bit out of position right there. Was pretty aggressive on that late side draft into turn 1, and that allowed him to clear Ryan Newman a little bit easier than it was for Clint Bowyer. Look at the teams that are in our top 10 right now. You've got Joe Gibbs Racing, Hendrick Motorsports, Stewart Haas Racing, cream is rising to the top.
Did Eric Jones brush the wall here?
Oh, yes, he did. That's enough to take that flare, that little flare that goes out over those fenders, create some good downforce, but also can get in and cut those tires. That was enough contact, I believe, to move that flare in, possibly on that right front.
So what does that do to the handling?
Well, you want those things shaped perfectly because that's what creates the most downforce, the least amount of air resistance, so the drag is best. But more importantly, I think in this case, you're more worried about what it's going to do to cut a tire. So I guess, Mike, to answer your question, if you get the right front a little bit more, it's very possible you lose a little front downforce. And if your car's already a little bit on the snug or tight side, it's just going to get worse.
And
now,
Jeff,
if the car's free, it might be pretty good, Larry Mack.
Well, Jeff, the last 2 laps, the stopwatch has been reflected, and he has fallen off. Most everybody inside the top 5, top 10 are faster the last couple laps in that 20 car.
And here's the one that's been fastest pretty much all night, Clint Boyer. You see almost a full mile an hour quicker than Eric Jones last time by. Now 75 laps to go. And the couple of raindrops that fell on the track earlier, haven't seen that for a bit now as you ride with Ty Dillon, 21st. Trying to break into the top 20 against Christopher Bell and Ryan Newman.
Yeah, Newman's still battling with those older tires. If anybody's wanting a caution to come out right now, it's Ryan Newman. He did a great job being up front, utilizing that clean air, fighting off some of these battles and challenges that were coming his way. But boy, once he starts to get to this stage of this run, he knows that those tires have a very limited amount of grip.
Top 29 cars still on the lead lap here with 74 to go in this 500-kilometer event. So Michael McDowell there, 23rd. Moving past B.J. McLeod in the 78. Pretty good battle there for 21st. Stuart Haas now with 3 cars in the top 10, and Cole Custer has been in the wall. He's back at 33rd. Only 1 car out of the race, and that was Ryan Preece, whose race went up in smoke early. Denny Hamlin has passed Kyle Busch. Hamlin back up into the top 5, which is where he finished Sunday.
No, but Kyle's doing what Kyle does. I mean, he's a grinder. He fights hard. See Denny Hamlin getting really close to the wall. Here's some lap traffic for Kyle Busch. This has been a trouble spot for Kyle Busch. He's coming off of turn 2. We saw this last Sunday also. Looked like he just got really loose up high there. Maybe the splitter hit the racetrack. There's some heavy bumps there, and he just had to completely bail out of the gas, and Denny Hamlin went right on by. But still, even with not the best handling race car and things not going Kyle Busch's way, he's still in 6th place.
Okay. Behind them, their teammate Martin Truex, and then this duo, Alex Bowman in 8th, Eric Almirola in 9th.
And how much is Alex Bowman flirting with that outside wall? We've already seen him make a little bit of contact with it so far, but he is threading the needle and just trying to create that buffer, that little buffer of air between the right side of his race car and that wall to get a little extra grip, but the 10 of Almirola going on by.
Jimmy Johnson behind them will round out the top 10. Now we saw Eric Jones brush the wall. Matt, how much damage did that do?
Mike, enough to make the car go to the tight side. He's just trying to hold on to their next stop. His spotter, Rick Corelli, is trying to tell him different lines that Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick are running to try to help pick up the speed, but it's not. You can see the 9 is closed right in.
Oh yeah, it's going away fast here, Matt. What happens is as you lose that front downforce and some of the side force, you start to get tight, and what that does is it builds that right front air pressure up as that right front's sliding across the racetrack, so it compounds itself, gets worse and worse as we see Chase Elliott almost take over the lead from Eric Jones. Now the crossover move from Eric Jones.
Wow.
These 2 young guys going at it.
Elliott caught him easily, but Jones does not want to give that lead up, and now Elliott completes the pass.
But I mean, I think this just goes to show how difficult and challenging this racetrack is, Mike. We talk about it all the time. We talk about racing the racetrack. But even when you're out front and feeling comfortable and in the best position because you've got the cleaner air, it's not easy for you to stay off of that wall because you're running so close to it.
Denny Hamlin going for 4th. He's going to get it on Boyer.
Well, we're starting to see something materialize, a long run. We have not seen a long run all night, and now we're going to see a difference in the balance of these race cars and who's strong on the long runs versus the short runs. Denny Hamlin, one of those that has a good long run car.
Last lap, Hamlin was almost 0.4 of a second faster than the leader, Chase Elliott. Chris Buescher missed the pit entrance. We'll have to go around.
And Mike, we didn't see this on Sunday because we never got to a green flag pit stop. But at this stage in the race, when you run this long and the tires are old and worn out and you've got to get to pit road, this is the most difficult and challenging pit road there is to get to. It is a huge apron with a lot of sand and debris on it, so there's very little grip. There's no grip in the tires. The way you have to slow down into turn 3, get that car off the banking and get it pointed at pit road, it's so easy to miss it. We see it happen a lot.
All right, Buescher makes it this time around. Remember, he and Ryan Newman stayed out on the last caution to get track position. Now they're in under green to get tires. So, Larry, the way you're talking, it sounds like we're going to go to lap 228 and run the full distance. What's your weather rock saying?
Well, we keep looking at apps, which I'm sure everybody in Darlington continues to look at them. And I mean, there are pop-up showers all around this racetrack. So, you know, it's a chess match, Mike. Do you stay out there and bank on a shower and stay out on old tires? I did that one time at Darlington Pitted because somebody couldn't read a weather map. Cost my race team $1 million.
Oh, goodness. There's a look at the radar. You see it building to the south here. Not sure quite how long that's going to take to get to us with 59 to go.
Let's take a look at this line that Denny Hamlin's using as he tries to catch our leader, Chase Elliott. You know, Denny's one of those guys that really likes to think about things a little bit different and try some unique lines, try to find an edge. He's also really good at saving tires. You saw him running very high up in that rubber where it gets laid down in the top of 1 and 2. Here he goes 3 and 4, boy, right up against the wall in 3 and 4. And then he turns off of it and gets that straight shot to get the run down that straightaway. Right now, these leaders, though, are hitting a lot of lap traffic, so you're seeing a big variance in lap time from one to another, depending on how they hit that lap traffic.
Jones, Boyer, and Busch, 3rd, 4th, and 5th here. Whoa.
Kyle Busch makes a move and gets to the left rear, loosens up Clint Boyer in the middle of that corner big time.
This is the longest green flag run of the night, and it seems the longer they go, that is favoring these Toyotas.
Well, they complain about, we don't have enough speed. We don't have enough speed. Well, maybe when you're running wide open through the corners, but as the handling becomes a bigger issue and some of these other cars are having to lift a lot more, that speed is coming back to those Toyotas. Nice run by Martin Truex Jr. to get to the left rear, try to side draft his teammate. Kyle Busch going to let him go. He knows Truex might be a little bit better than him. Maybe he can get past Boyer. I love listening to that throttle and listening to these drivers work it. This is such a tough, challenging racetrack. The driver plays a big role.
Larry, starting to see a little more activity on pit road. Are these lappers or lead lap cars coming in? But we are starting to see a few green flag stops.
Well, we're almost to that point that I talked about when you come with 48 to go. And there you see Kyle Busch. They're splitting this stage in half. I think once one driver comes, you cannot be far behind him. You'll be giving up a second and a half to 2 seconds a lap.
Yeah, more drivers cutting into the entrance to pit lane.
And I think Kyle Busch, that's why he let Martin Truex Jr. as we see Eric Jones come to pit road. I think that's why he let his teammate Martin Truex Jr. go by so he could get a clean shot into pit road. Here's Denny Hamlin on pit road.
Matt?
And you're seeing all the Joe Gibbs cars hit pit road. The 19 is in. Now you see the 20. The 11 of Denny Hamlin. He said his car much freer this run. Didn't want to take a bigger swing at it, though. He was concerned it may swing the car to the tight side and plow. You can see the cosmetic damage there to the 20 car of Jones. Air pressure adjustment trying to free up that tight race car.
Wow, everybody's in.
Boy, Eric Jones so close to overshooting his pit stall, got right to that white line. Here's Chase Elliott on pit road.
And Truex almost ran over Clint Boyer coming into the pits.
Even though it's slick and it's hard to do it, you got to get everything you can. You can't give up any of that time, that crucial time, getting on and off pit road.
4 fresh Goodyears and a full tank of fuel as Brad Keselowski assumes the lead from William Byron and Ty Dillon. Other than Brennan Poole and Daniel Suarez, everybody else has been in the pits.
Boy, pressure stops. First green flag stops for these pit crews since they've gone back to work.
We'll see how it cycles through. Byron in, leaving Keselowski and Poole. Ty Dillon is in as well.
How many times have we seen this 2 car, even though it's not Paul Wolfe, his crew chief that's pulled that strategy a few times, we've seen them stay out longer than anybody else and then hope that the caution comes out maybe 8, 10, 12 laps into this run where he can come in and get tires under that caution.
Look at the 88 and watch for a tire rub on Alex Bowman. Not sure quite where that came from.
Well, we know where it's come from. He's been riding that wall, but not even giving an inch of clearance to that wall.
Matt Kenseth slow there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw they went 3 wide by Matt like he's got a flat tire. He's going to spin here. Boy, this could be huge for Brad Keselowski.
Caution for Kenseth.
Now I don't know if it's going to work as good for Keselowski, Larry Mack, as he would have liked, because most of these teams have only been out there a few laps.
Yeah, the pit stop started at lap 174 and ran through 176, so some of them only have 3 to 4 laps. Yeah, to your point, Jeff, Brad Keselowski, he needed this to go another 5 or 6 laps. Then he would have drug everybody with him. I still think you'll see mixed decision here, especially drivers maybe outside the top 10 come with Brad.
Chevy, Ford, Toyota, 1, 2, 3. Elliott, Keselowski, Hamlin. Here we go.
Off it. Still there, quarter. Off it. Quarter. Still there, quarter tight, quarter tight, quarter tight. Still there, back even.
Ooh, Blaney got up into Brennan Poole there.
Yeah, and Poole may have made some contact with Kyle Busch. I don't know if Kyle made any contact with outside wall, but definitely lost some positions.
Keselowski takes second away from Hamlin. Hamlin coming right back at him.
Hamlin trying to squeeze Keselowski, but Keselowski's got the preferred line on the outside. That's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. behind a lap car. And Blaney also 1 lap down. So those guys trying to get up there and be the free pass car or get by the leader to get that lap back.
There's Blaney up and just brushing Brennan Poole, sending him up into Kyle Busch.
I think he definitely made some contact to his left front. I don't know if it caused enough damage to cause any issues to the left front fender, but at least Kyle Busch stayed out of the outside wall. Denny Hamlin is really closed up on Brad Keselowski as well as Chase Elliott.
Keselowski and Hamlin have the best tires of this group. Counting caution laps, they're 6 lap tires better than Chase Elliott's. And the time is now for Keselowski. Early in this run is when it appears he feels he needs to make this move.
And we've seen Chase Elliott work that outside lane. He might open up the door to these guys. Now this time he closes the door, and Brad Keselowski runs a little bit lower line. That's just putting some dirty air to that race car behind you on Brad Keselowski. But down here in turns 3 and 4, we've seen where he's really opened it up and run higher these other laps and opened up the door to allow Keselowski to get inside, but not able to complete the pass. This time Keselowski is there. Whoa, these guys side drafting into turn 1. Denny Hamlin's got a front row seat to this.
Best seat in the house.
I'd say he's going to have a real front row seat here in just a few laps.
Definitely as this run goes by, if Chase Elliott can keep Brad Keselowski and Denny Hamlin behind him in that dirtier air, it'll build up the air pressures on those tires, take away some of the advantage of those newer tires.
Brad Keselowski was really strong in the first 2 stages on Sunday. Didn't have a great final stage of the race. Still wound up the best finishing Penske Ford.
And that might be creating some of his urgency right now, Mike, on trying to get by Chase Elliott. He needs that clean air to help his car stick over the long run. I think Chase Elliott's the opposite. Maybe doesn't have a great short run car, but seems to have a pretty good long run car. And we know Denny Hamlin's got a great long run car. Of course, I'm still waiting for Larry Mack's setup to give me that good short run and long run, Larry Mack.
That 4-car had it on Sunday.
Yes, he did. Oh, Clint Boyer going around. Flat right rear tire.
And that'll put the caution out once again.
And you can see he's made contact with the outside wall, flattened that right side, pushed that fender on that right rear tire, causing it to go down.
10th caution flag of the night, lap 195. He got into the wall a couple laps earlier. You can see all that damage to the right side, and it eventually cut down the right rear.
Let's go back and watch this replay. Entering turn 3, already that tire's going down. It reminds me a lot of William Byron's issue that he had on Sunday. Same section of the track. He goes in, the back end steps out, makes contact with the wall. So it's hard to say if he made contact earlier, then flatten that right side, cause the tire to go down, because he did make contact with it there too.
Very bottom, inside 4 barely. Now he's got the mow out back. Clear.
Well, you've seen some history there, because you don't often see 3 wide at Darlington, and they're all over the place now.
And here goes Kyle Busch trying to take the lead from Denny Hamlin. Here comes Chase Elliott to the outside. Wow, that did not work out for. Oh, Kyle Busch turns Chase Elliott.
Hard into the wall and almost back up into traffic.
Oh, Clint Boyer getting pushed. Almost collects him. Man, I'm not sure what that was all about from Kyle Busch. I don't know if he misjudged trying to side draft Chase Elliott, but definitely turned him. A very unhappy Chase Elliott climbs out of that car. You can see he's taking his time. he wants to see somebody first, or
Yep, he was in position to have a chance to win it. th caution flag.
oh boy.
Let's have a look at it.
Here's why he's upset. Goes to the outside, follows Denny Hamlin by the 18, and Kyle Busch just moves up and misjudges it completely. Gets into the left rear, spins Chase Elliott around, sends him into the inside wall.
I mean, this is right in the middle of the straightaway. It's not a case of the car sliding up the racetrack. It got turned there.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is you're looking in your mirror to see if you can get, you're looking at Kevin Harvick, some of these other guys, how they're closing in. You're listening to your spotter, but I mean, that's more than just a misjudge by an inch. I mean, that was not even close.
Clint Boyer got punted by Quinn Houff as everybody tried to check up. Nobody expected the 9 to come all the way back up across the racetrack.
Like I said, not even close. I mean, he's the right front tires to his rear bumper.
Rain falling in Darlington. Denny Hamlin, your leader, with 24 laps to go. Field continuing to circulate under caution. Denny Hamlin will go to victory lane. NASCAR has called the race for rain, and Hamlin will pick up his 39th career win tonight, second of the season after winning the Daytona 500, and his third Darlington win in 16 attempts. He now becomes the 14th driver in history to win 3 races at the track too tough to tame. And he's won the first NASCAR Wednesday race since July 4th, 1984, when Richard Petty got his 200th victory. How about that mask? Denny.
He's got a smile on his face, Mike.
178th win for Joe Gibbs Racing and second of the season. 145th career win for Toyota and their second win of the year, and 8th at Darlington. Fireworks go off. Here's Matt.
And the rain definitely begins to drop now from the clouds. No doubt who you are. Another winner here at Darlington, Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, I got my happy face on. Made sure I brought it with me today. Just can't thank FedEx and Toyota, Coca-Cola, Jordan Brand, the whole JGR engine fab shop. The pit crew did a great job today. Everybody, really. I was pretty happy with how it all turned out.
You've told me so many times that Daytona is special, but Darlington is a driver's racetrack. And this one, to have your face on that trophy again, that means a lot. What's it mean to you and why?
Well, I mean, why wouldn't you want this mug on the trophy again? So, I don't know. It's just, it is. It's a driver's racetrack. You can move around. You can do different things to make your car handle, and we got it right today.
All right, congratulations. Well, the conversation's done. Kyle Busch, you finished second, but a long conversation with Alan Gustafson. Walk us through what you believe took place from your side of the fence.
Oh, there's no question. I know I made a mistake and just misjudged the gap. You know, when we were racing there with the 11 and the 9 had a run on him, I knew he was there. And I knew I needed to get in line as quick as I could, and in doing so, you know, I watched him and his momentum that was going by me, and then I tried to look up in the mirror and see where Harvick was to get in, and I just misjudged it. You know, I made a mistake and clipped the 9 there and spun him into the wall. So I hate it for him and his guys. I mean, I got too many friends over there on that team to do anything like that on purpose. I've raced Chase since he was a kid and never had any issues with him whatsoever. So it was just a bad mistake on my part, and we'll just have to deal with it later on.
After the debate, you've made your case. Do you feel like that, obviously there's hurt feelings, but do you believe that Gustafson and their side believe exactly what happened?
Go ask them.
Well, you had the conversation with him. How did he leave it?
they're upset. They're mad. I'm not just going to fix it and we're going to have go ice cream tomorrow, you know? So obviously they're going to have to dwell on it, and the repercussions of it, I'm sure I'm going to have later on down the road.
All right, thanks, Kyle.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.